You know, there are dry times and there are wet times, and right now we're living through very wet times. Um, how do I know this? Because I've been here for a while. Um, I've seen it very dry. I've seen it wet. A few years back, I don't think I've seen it this wet for whatever. Um, but the last time it came as close to being this wet was probably 7 years ago. So you can see now the dam. I've showed you before, there's an overflow pipe there, completely underwater now. And there's a overflow pipe. Was that the beers I had last night? Messing with my elocution. So there's an overflow pipe down here somewhere, and then this is the spillway over the driveway. And no, this has been running at the spillway on and off for close to 2 weeks now. Well, at least from the overflow pipes, close to 2 weeks now. The spillway just came over last night again, and was going over the spillway the other day as well. And that's how it is here. Yeah, but you know how my brain works. My brain always tries to see patterns and things and metaphors, and I've also seen in my business, to be honest, that the cycles aren't perfect circles. It's not like a winter and summer every 12 months in business. The cycles are long. You can make a lot of money, or I can make a lot of money. Things can go very well, and then things can go very badly for a very long time. And it's very difficult. And I think the parallels also with business and this particular climate I'm living in right here. I know some people live in a very predictable climate where you know it's going to rain in winter and it's going to be sunny in summer. But right here where we live, it's all over the show. But business, it's very difficult and my experience has been it's very difficult to predict and say, okay, well, there will be money next December because there may be, and maybe there's not. And I've been in business now for a long time. I've been working as an architect continuously for 30 years. And I've seen the cycles. Oh, look how wet it is here. So this is the little dam. I've seen the cycles, but I also know that they're not cycles, because cycle kind of means a circle, and you can kind of predict the circle by looking at its circumference, and you can see where it's going. It's not really a cycle. It's more of a kind of a pattern in that it will probably come back. So the times when you make money will probably come back, but maybe they won't, maybe they will. And I think that's the same as the weather here. Look at this little dam we built. Little dam is holding, there's a spillway that comes across here, but now the spillway kind of broke. I'm happy with that. As long as the dam wall is holding, I'll try to fix this little spillway. The idea with water is, our attempt is to keep water as high in the landscape as possible, to hold it as high as possible, to give benefit to as much of a micro, not a micro, a biodiversity. We want to try to create as many different little micro environments for biodiversity. So yeah, we're trying to create as much wetland as possible. So you've heard me speak about this before, I'm sure. Keeping the water as high in the landscape as long as possible. That's our mission here. Not to irrigate, not to dam up, not to sell water, No, just to promote biodiversity where we can. And to play fun games. I love playing with water. I remember as a kid on the beach playing with water, damming it up and making canals and whatever. I don't know why I like doing that. Do I have to know why? No, I don't need to know why. I just need to do it. Yeah, and that's what I do. Yeah, so this is Pebble Spring Farm right now. Very green, very wet. Sure. And am I being gloomy when I say that it won't always be wet? No, I'm not being gloomy. I just know that it'll come and it'll go, and people will panic and people will say the rains will never come again, and people will say let's give up and let's move on. Yeah, okay, that's also something you can do, but there's something to be said for patience. Just keep going, wake up, see what beautiful opportunities there are for you. Whatever the weather, whether it's dry or whether it's wet, there's something that you can do. On the wet days, you can play with water canals and building little dams and stuff. On the dry days, you can what? You know, be very happy with all the dry firewood and make plans for that, and just every day will pass with some opportunity for you to do something. But the one thing that you're not going to take any benefit out of is for you on a dry day to sit and wish it was wet and yearn for the days when there was rain and be miserable at the gods for punishing you for whatever and giving you dry days. No, that won't work. That's not going to help anybody. It's early in the morning. Farm store will open just now. That'll be nice. Yeah. Beautiful. Okay, guys. Look at the water in the road. Okay, talk later. So maybe what I'm trying to say is, you know, there are things we can do and there are things that we can't do. And one of the things we can do is build channels and dams and fences and swales. But what we can't do is make the rain come, you know. Obviously, yeah, sure. But in business, isn't it curious? And in relationships, maybe. Friendships. There are things that you can do. In business, you can sharpen your pencil. You can be sure that you rock up for meetings. You can reply to emails. You can try to get your skills as best as you can. But you can't make the business happen. You got to allow that to happen. In the same way as we allow the seasons to change, we allow the rains to come when the rains come, and then we can see the efforts that we've put in preparing. Then we can see them bear fruit. But there are things that we can control, and there's things that we just need to be patient with.